Hey guys, we are pleased to say that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation charity. And now, a message from one of our supporters.
Hi, I really appreciate the work that you've been doing for the Sophie Foundation. I do actually remember Sophie from back in the day, you know, when we were wandering around Rock World. I've never spoke to her, but I do remember her face in the club. But that place was like, it was just a little community for everyone, you know, like people that didn't feel belong anywhere, you know, like they belong anywhere else. It was really heartbreaking to hear what had happened to her. But I think the work that has been done since that event, that awful event, has been amazing to get the awareness out there, you know, and trying to make positive change. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
To learn more about this wonderful charity, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
Hey Jamie, do you like being cozy?
I do.
And do you like staying cozy?
I like that even more.
Then just heading over to www.staycozyclothing.com,
where you can find hoodies, tees, sweaters, and much, much more, with a new fall line out now.
And just enter the Chronicles as one word at checkout to receive 10% off your order.
And make sure you follow them on the Instagram at Stay Cozy Clothing to keep up to date with all the new designs.
Remember, guys, that's the Chronicles as one word at checkout to receive 10% off your order. Kylie?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Works. I love it when technology works.
I was saying, I wish you could hear us because you were looking like, guys, are you going to say anything? Or
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm here.
Never done it this way when I'm the other end, and so I've never heard what happens. So obviously it starts and it's like it's recording. That's why I was a bit like, whoa, this is new. So it's really weird being the other side.
Yeah.
I like to record in advance because one time, a long time ago, I completely forgot to press record.
Yes, which is every broadcaster's nightmare. That's happened to me before, but with a camera guy. Actually, that's happened to me twice with two camera guys. Once when I was interviewing James Blunt, so probably a good thing that they stopped there. And secondly, another time, I know that's awful. He's actually really lovely. But then another time was when I was backstage with Def Leppard and we were doing a walk to stage with Phil Collin. And it was so good. And we were in Nashville and he was showing me all this stuff. And then it was just incredible doing these little lift ups that he does. Next day, I'm sitting in bed going through all the rushes. And I'm like, where is that walk to stage? Where is it? And I called him up and then he confessed that he'd forgot to press bloody record. I nearly
I would too.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we're less than a minute in and already 2 name drops. We're doing well.
I know, Clang.
2 name drops.
Such a wanker.
You know that James Blunt. You know that James Blunt. Yeah, that fella. Yeah, him.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure James Blunt is really the right vibe we're going for, though, is it?
I'm not going to deny. I love that first James Blunt album.
Really?
Hold me to it. I love that first James Blunt album. I've never listened to anything after the first one, to be honest. So.
I guess, you know, he's an incredible songwriter, I guess. You know, there were some good songs on there, I think.
I remember
it's a guilty pleasure.
I think it's the first thing off the second album was really good, where he's walking down the street. I can't remember what it's called. I remember that. And then the one we just done with his dad is like, fuck me. Like, Jesus, they're going, it's all right. I suppose it's okay. Yeah. I mean, the song's all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Powerful bit. But I remember, I think in an interview, he said his dad was sitting there going, why the fuck am I sat here? Like, yeah, la 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 la. Yeah. Anyway, we're here to talk about you, Kylie. We're not here to talk about James Blunt.
This is odd for me. It's like the what is it? It's the hunter being hunted all of a sudden, isn't it? It's like,
yeah. How's it feel to be on the side for once? I know we haven't started yet, but
where's this gonna go?
basically all that happens, Jamie's gonna do a nice, beautiful little introduction, and then we're gonna absolutely bombard the living shit out of you with questions, all right?
Great. Can't wait. He's going to do what I do when I turn up. I never forget it when you see their faces, or sometimes I'll turn up to an interview and I over prep everything. And so like I'll have a million questions in front of me, which I never end up looking at. But I just, for some reason, it's like a safety blanket for me just to have it there. Yeah. And I sometimes see their faces, they're like freaking hell, we haven't got 20 hours. We're just doing like standard press thing.
Yeah. And so this like a big scroll thing, right? So, right, let's start at the beginning, shall we?
So it rolls down.
Yeah. Well, there's scrolls that never stops rolling. I just on the stairs, nothing just fucks up.
Yeah. That's me. Okay, cool. I can't wait.
I'll do my intro and we'll get going. Ladies and gents, we have a very special guest today. We've interviewed people from all sorts of professions and backgrounds, but today's guest is a first one who can judge us on our performance as an interviewer. On today's guest, she is a person who has interviewed the best in the world of music. Names like Ozzy Osbourne, Phil Alsamo, Geddy Lee, and many, 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 many more. Today, we welcome you to the Chronicles of Kylie Olsson.
Like that as well.
Yeah, do it. Why not? Take a bow.
I'm happy for you. That was a great introduction. Well done. You've passed 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
Yeah, so no pressure on us either, to be fair, because this is the first time we've interviewed an actual interviewer and journalist, etc. So I just like no, I'm joking, I'm good. But also, before we get into it, how was Italy? How was France?
Oh my God, it was amazing. Well, I say it was amazing, and I don't want to sound like a moany old cow and ungrateful, but I was actually working the whole time I was there.
No.
Yes. So literally a week before I left, I landed like one of my dream jobs. So again, I'm not going to moan. And
congrats.
Thank you. And so I literally was, when I was in Italy, I was in a cafe opposite at the house. And then when I was in France, there was an office, so I was just in the office. So I had weekends off, and it's not a bad place to have the weekend off, so I can't complain. But it was fantastic, but it wasn't as a holiday like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. It looked from Instagram, it looked stunning.
All good though.
So absolutely stunning. So I'm pleased with, even though you're working, at least you got to enjoy some of it at least.
Yeah.
So there's worse places to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. How has your last 18 months been?
They've not been too bad.
Yeah?
Not been too bad. I know, which is odd. So my job is quite full on all the time, and I'm traveling around, and constantly when you're doing a job, when you're freelance like me, you're looking for the next job. So your mind is constantly going like a million miles an hour. And so the first lockdown was actually quite nice in a weird sort of way. I know there was a pandemic going on and everyone was stressing and we were scared about our health and people that we love dying and all of that. That aside, if I put all of that aside, just having the time to sit there and not move and just my brain just stop for 5 minutes was really nice actually. And to know that everyone else had stopped, so I wasn't missing out on anything, I wasn't not chasing the dream and everything else. So in that sense, all right, I lost a few jobs that were coming up that were really, I was looking forward to doing. That all kind of went away. But I had a moment to sit down and relax and think about what I want to do. And so I decided to pick up the guitar, as you see behind
just
me.
One or two.
Well, just one or two. I've become greedy. And it was great. It gave me a focus.
Nice.
So that wasn't too bad. But then saying that lockdown, December, January, February, however long that went on for, that was pretty hellish, I've got to say. I think a lot of us struggled with that mentally.
Yeah. Probably the weather didn't help as well.
Oh, it was freaking miserable, wasn't it?
That was the best thing about the first lockdown. It was glorious weather.
I think that probably helped. That is it. You forget that the weather. I didn't bake bloody banana bread like everyone else, but
No, man, don't worry.
Who made banana bread? Of all the things you can make.
I know, it's so odd, isn't it? Like everyone in the whole world as well, not just in England. It wasn't just an English thing. It was like the whole freaking world just went banana bread crazy.
That's what do you want? I don't want to make banoffee. No, not banoffee. We're not going to. What about trifle? No, everyone's done that. I want banana bread. Is what I want.
Yeah. I guess because it's easy to make. So even if you're a shit baker, it's kind of. I guess.
And I guess everyone buys bananas and never completes eating them, I suppose. Just go, what do this shit?
Let's face it, bananas, I hate bananas. I think they're just so, you just don't want to sit there and eat a banana.
Elite fruit, banana.
I do love a banana.
Really?
Yeah.
Kiwi, no. Kiwi can live down, but a banana and apple are elite. I think, in my opinion.
Not an apple. An apple's just boring as hell.
Well,
yeah, I'm with Kylie on this one. I don't.
Welcome to my world, Kylie. Welcome to my world.
Come on, it's all about the berries, surely. Come on.
Okay.
The blueberries, the strawberries, and if they're good, if you can get some good strawberries, like nothing, you can't beat good strawberries.
This is a very good point. I like where this conversation is going.
I was going to say this is not where I expected this conversation to go.
Yeah.
I'm more red grape than white.
And me, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, well, I think they're better for you as well, aren't they? Red grapes.
Are they? Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep eating them then.
More
Phenomenal.
antioxidants in them, I guess. Maybe I'm just making that up, but yeah, let's say they are.
Okay. So back in the first lockdown, then you
Yes.
had time to just be like, and recharge and everything else. Did you, other than make banana bread, did you decide to do anything like? Is there anything other than picking up the guitar? Was there anything else you really wanted to do that you had time to go? I can actually put some time into this now.
Well, I didn't make banana bread. That was the thing. I didn't.
Okay.
But no, I learned the guitar and then I launched my YouTube channel, Life in Six Strings, which was basically me chatting to other guitarists about their life in strings. And then they give me a little bit of a lesson. And again, that kind of gave me something to focus on. And then I've covered Download Festival for Sky Arts for the last 10 years or something. So I did Download, not the Sky Arts in the first lockdown. It was just for Live Nation and YouTube. So we did that. So again, that was kind of kept me busy in that first little bit of lockdown. And that's kind of it, really. That's all I did. I just, kept fit, did guitar, practicing every day, interviewing guitarists, and then that was it, really.
Nice.
Watching a lot of Netflix.
Yeah, but you've completed it.
Yeah, I think so.
And Disney Plus and Amazon Prime.
Oh my God, yes.
So take us back. What was the plan for young Miss Olsson? Was it always journalism, or was there something else you wanted to do entirely when you were in your formative years?
I actually wanted to be a musician. My first instrument was the saxophone.
Oh.
And then, don't get excited, I wasn't very good at all. And I realized that quite quickly, even though I kept it up. And I was like, I'm never going to be a musician. For a start, I never had the balls to play in front of anyone. So that was a bit of a problem. Although I hear that Eddie Van Halen and a few musicians like that didn't like playing in front of an audience, why they sometimes used to have their back to the audience in the beginning. So basically I wasn't very good. And then I thought, well, why don't I talk about music? And so that's kind of when I started doing work experience at local BBC and hospital radio and stuff like that. And then just kind of grew, really. Lots of work experience and constantly hounding people to give me a job.
I mean, I didn't get, like I say, excited per se at the saxophone, except normally people go for flute or clarinet. So yeah, that's normally the two that people go for when they're in school or whatever. So go for saxophone. I mean, that's amazing. I wanted this to go, to be fair.
I mean, that was partly my dad, I think. I think that he was like, he was obsessed with, well, he liked the Stones. So, oh my God, his name's completely, how could I forget his name? What's his name? Sax player in the Stones.
I have no idea.
I can't think what his name
Stones
is.
aren't my bag.
I completely forgot. Anyway,
Him.
him.
That guy. Yeah.
He's gonna come to me. I can't believe I forgot it. He loved him, and he loved Candy Dulfer and stuff like that. And he just kept going on about the saxophone. So I think part of it was that. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Why have you got loads of toys behind you?
Because I have a small child. Look, this guy's my new co-host. When Tom annoys me, this guy's replacing me.
Ah.
Thanks, Jay.
So where did the love and passion for rock music come from? Is that from your dad with the Stones, or is that something just that happened over time?
I think it just kind of happened. If it, like, when I was a teenager, I was listening to all the other crap that was out in the charts and stuff, and then I discovered, well, it was, wasn't it? And then I discovered the Doors, and that kind of started leading me in the right direction. I got into a bit of Bob Marley and stuff like that, and then I discovered Pink Floyd, and then it just kind of snowballed. You just kind of go deep diving with it all. So
it's good to have. I think it's good to have an eclectic taste, to like bits of everything. I think
100%. I don't know anyone, like all the musicians that I've interviewed, none of them, like for instance, all these big rock stars or metalheads, none of them actually listen to rock and metal 24/7. You'd be surprised. Like they like classical music, country. So yeah, I think you can't just say you like one genre of music. It's just ridiculous.
I agree. But I think
Absolutely.
Obviously some music's influenced others. Like it's all influenced it's every which way possible. But country music at the moment is absolutely spot on. Loving it.
Yes, I do agree with you on that. Bit of Americana. Although Americana makes me laugh because no one can really say what Americana is. It's kind of like, what is it? And it's just like, oh, well, they just kind of, it's like they lump bands into Americana that you can't quite say. Like even Led Zeppelin could be considered Americana maybe, or yeah, it's just funny. But anyway, I like Americana.
I go back to that thing about only liking one style of music though. I can't help but think that people that say they only listen to one style of music are completely lying. Because people that just say, like, I just listen to black and death metal. I was like, so you sit at home and have a relax and listen to black metal. No one can relax to black metal.
No, I know. It's absolute rubbish, isn't it? Yeah, I agree with you. It's like one of my really good friends. He's a rock metal journalist. He loves going to the opera. In fact, I probably go more to the opera with him than I do rock gigs. So
is it because you're surrounded by it so much that you're like, oh my God, I just need something different. Like just give me something else in my face other than this constantly.
Yeah, sometimes I think it is. I mean, the thing is, the kind of stuff that I like, I think you can listen to it. Like I don't like death metal. I wouldn't sit there and listen to death metal. No, never. I wouldn't even want to go to a gig really of it. But like I can listen to is Van Morrison a bit of rock? I guess it's kind of classic rock, maybe. I'm not quite sure what you call Van Morrison, singer-songwriter. Yeah, but I could listen to a bit of Into the Mystic, or yeah. So no, you don't want to listen to heavy metal 24/7.
Absolutely not. But I mean, so how did it all like take off for you then? Really, like how we like discovered in this sort of journalistic musical world?
Well, so I started doing work experience, and then eventually kind of I moved to, because I'm from Norwich. I was doing this all in Norwich, and then I moved to London, and then I just like started at the bottom, like literally making teas and coffees as a runner. And I really wanted to work at MTV, but I was working in comedy. So I was working with like Al Murray and stuff like that.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't even like comedy, which is
what?
Funny. I know. It's weird, isn't it? I don't find it funny at all. I don't find comedy funny.
What? Hang on.
Yeah, I know. I think there's something wrong with me.
I don't think there's something wrong with you, but what? How?
I like slapstick, so I'll find it funny if someone falls over. But
okay.
I don't like kind of just contrived, someone standing there telling me jokes. It's like, it's so contrived, it's not funny.
Okay. Oh, that's fair enough.
Like accidental things, that's funny. Like I could laugh my head off for hours watching those crappy clip shows where people fall over and stuff. That I find really funny, but then that's not comedy, is it? That's just I like laughing at other people's pain.
You just like seeing people hurt themselves, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't find comedy that funny, which sounds strange when I say that out loud. So I was working in comedy, and then I somehow through my networks managed to meet someone that worked at MTV. So then I got an internship there, and then I just kind of started working that way. But then I went back into radio. So I was working at Capital Radio, or Global Radio, which owns Capital and stuff. And the only reason why I went there was because they had Planet Rock. And so I was like, right, I'll go in the back way. So I went in via Capital and stuff like that. But then the thing is, the guy that was running Planet Rock at the time would be like, oh, you don't have a very rock voice. Women don't sound that great on the radio and all that crap, especially in rock. You don't look like you're into rock. You know, you haven't got tattoos, you haven't got black hair. Just rubbish stereotypes.
It's radio.
I know.
Sorry, what is a rock voice?
Clearly not mine. That's what he said. I sound too young, and he said that I need to come back in about 5 or 10 years after I've been smoking and drinking loads. I kid you not. This is the thing. You wouldn't get away with saying that now.
You really wouldn't.
Dare say that stuff now.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, actually, when I was there, the stuff that I was told, well, you know, I was going for an audition for a co-host for a breakfast show, and they said, oh, you do realize you're just going to be a bit of fluff on the side. It's just all these, and even commenting on what I should wear for the, like, it's like, oh my God. Yeah.
What's wrong with people? I just don't get it.
That's mad.
It's what it was like. It's what it was like. I mean, they just wouldn't get away with it now, which is great. And I think that's wonderful that, you know, women coming through the industry now, I hope that they might have it a bit easier in that sense, that they don't have to put up with that crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, so I didn't get the job at Planet Rock like I wanted. But then I don't even know how it happened. I was already working on Download as a freelance producer for Channel 4. I think it was Channel 4 the first year that we started doing it. And so I kind of went that way. And then the opportunities just started coming in. And then the more you go into it, the more work you get. It just kind of snowballs a little bit.
Okay.
So with regards to the journalism side of it, again, couldn't go in the front door, so I went in the back door. So I worked out that someone who's actually one of my best friends now, the guy that I was telling you about with the opera, he was working at a different radio station, and he was a writer for Classic Rock magazine. And so I thought, well, if I go and work for this radio station for free, then I can meet him, and then maybe I can get some writing work. So that was literally what I did, and that's what happened. So that was kind of it. It's kind of like, I think the motto of it all is, if you can't, like I said, if you can't get in the front door, just go around the back. You have to just think outside the box. Don't just go, oh, the boss of this channel isn't getting back to me. Well, go and find someone else that's working there or doing something and be friends with them. Then you'll get there.
I like that. It's perseverance. Don't give up. You got a goal. Do what you can.
Yes, exactly.
I love that. That's a wonderful mindset. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's kind of it. So it's not easy, and you have to be on it all the time. And like I said, with the whole lockdown stuff, it was quite nice for a moment to go,
Yeah.
So as I said in my intro, you've spoken to some of like the biggest names in music. And your name has sort of become a bit synonymous with rock journalism now. So how did that come about then? Was it a particular job you did and it sort of progressed, or was it like, we need someone to speak to this person? Kylie, you go do it. You know, was it a happy accident, or was it like you worked your way up to that level?
Yeah, I kind of worked my way up to that level. And I guess it's because when I was at Global Radio, I was doing lots of red carpet premieres, so lots of interviewing James Blunt and stuff like that. So I was interviewing people, but not in the arena that I wanted to be in. And then I think it was Andy Copping at Live Nation that he knew that I was presenting, and he knew what I wanted to do. And obviously I was producing the stuff at Download already. And I think my boss that was the exec producer, he just turned around and just said, oh, the Lowdown needs a presenter. And I think Andy put me forward for the job because I already knew him from working on the TV shows as a producer. And then he put me forward, and then that kind of it. And then the following year, Sky Arts wanted to take it. And the exec producer just said, right, Sky Arts want to take it, and I'm putting you forward as the presenter. Because I'd already done the Lowdown. So he'd sort of seen that I could do it. And then that was it, really. Yeah. I think I'd made a documentary. Was that before I'd done the presenting for Download and stuff? I'd done a documentary for the BBC about John Bonham. So I guess it's just the more you do, the more you kind of get cred. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't easy. And people in the beginning didn't take me seriously. It was like, oh, again, she's crap. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't look like she's into rock, all of that stuff. And just the more you do, the more I think people kind of go, oh, right, she does know what she's talking about.
Yeah, because you've been like 10, 11 years now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, come on then. Sorry, we're not good enough. Or
Yeah. So they tend to get me out if there's like some old rocker that needs interviewing and stuff like that, which is the stuff I love doing. I love doing Download, but my favorite type of thing is to sit down and just dig deep with someone. And that's the kind of stuff I really enjoy.
Can you remember your first big interview? Someone you're like, oh my God.
God. Who scared the living crap out of me? It's hard, I guess. What are we just talking rock, or I guess
in general?
I mean, because the thing is, I did like Adam Sandler and stuff like that when I was doing the premieres, and that was quite terrifying. And I've done Judi Dench, and so all the movie stuff I did, yeah. So that stuff. What's his name? William Dafoe. I did him as well, and I had a really in-depth conversation with him. So I'd done a lot of movie guys before, but who terrified me? Well, Jimmy Page terrified me, if I'm totally honest with you, in a great way, because I love Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin are one of my favorite bands. And so when I did this John Bonham documentary, I had to sit down with him for about an hour and a half, just talking Zeppelin, talking John and stuff. And yeah, that was quite terrifying. Being in the big BBC studio, you've got your boss behind the glass, and I'm conducting this interview with this freaking legend. And you're like, oh my God, don't mess up.
How do you... Sorry, Karen.
No, so that was terrifying, yeah.
Because how do you get past that, though? How do you get past those nerves to just be like, game face on, you're Jimmy Page, I'm Kylie, let's go?
I don't know if you do. I think I'm a bit cheeky to them before, so I'll sort of joke around a bit and make jokes, because I just think if we both laugh, it will be all right. Even though I hate comedy, but it is. It's a great way to laugh. It is a great way to break the ice. And so yeah, I think I just kind of mess around a little bit. But to be quite honest with you, it's being prepped. I don't know if like I said, I over prep everything. So I like to know their life story, like from it. I dig so deep that it's kind of like, if something comes up, I should be covered, so it should be fine. And then I have my questions in front of me if it all goes to shit. So
I just imagine you digging that deep and being like, so this is like, I forgot that happened. Why do you know my life better than I do?
Yeah, they do. But the series that I'm working on at the moment, it's like I was interviewing this producer called Bob Rock. I don't know if you've heard of him. Yeah. Complete legend, right? So Dr. Feelgood, the Black Album, like St. Anger, like all your favorite albums he's produced.
Dream guest.
Yes. So, but he was just like, I don't know, what were we doing? And of course, these are like records that I was actually interviewing about Motley Crue, and I was focusing on Dr. Feelgood, and that album was out, what, 86 was it, or something?
86 or 7, yeah.
Yeah, so he, that was a long time ago. How can he remember what they were talking about when they were doing, oh God, what are some of the tracks? Kickstart My Heart or something on there. It's a lot to ask. I can't remember what I did last week, let alone. So yeah. So I guess some of them have great memories and then it's brilliant. But yeah, I mean, he couldn't remember everything. And don't forget, some of these as well were doing drinks and drinking and drugs. And so
I was about to say.
I don't remember 87 to 94. I don't remember any of it.
No.
It's all black. That's all I remember. Yeah. It's all black.
Yeah, indeed.
You're right there, because to us it's like, oh my God, you worked on Dr. Feelgood. But to them they're like, yeah, that was a Tuesday.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because we were interviewing him about Bon Jovi as well. And then he was involved in Whitesnake, although he didn't produce one of the albums. He just helped John Sykes create some of the guitar sounds, because he happened to be in the next studio and John knew him, so called him in, said, we can't create the guitar sounds, so can you come in and help and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's that all sort of blend. I think he was on the Motley Crue album at the same time, so it's like it's just nuts when you think about it, isn't it? Yeah, it blows your mind actually. So
it's bonkers.
Yeah, I'm just all the name drops.
We should tally them at the end. So I know you write and produce your interviews as well. Yes. Is that something you decided you wanted to do, or was that when they, like, bosses just went, Kylie, you're interviewing this person, you go sort it?
No, that was definitely my plan. My plan was to understand it all. So if I wanted to be in front of the camera, I wanted to understand why the producer was asking me to do things. So when I'm doing interviews, I always have an editorial head on, and when they're giving, if I'm interviewing someone and they give me an answer, it's like I can hear the sound bite, or I can hear that, right, I've got that. I sort of tick it all off in my head. So I definitely wanted to understand it all.
That's incredible.
I like that.
Do you ever
have something to fall back on if everyone was like, are you mad wanting to be a presenter? Nah, it's too hard. No one can do that.
Do you ever want to, like, set up, not traps necessarily, but like little things, so like whoopee cushions, or like take the leg out of the chair so they fall? Just like break the ice that way, because you don't laugh at anything. So if you want someone to fall over, like, you know what I do? I'm just going to remove the leg from this chair so they fall forwards. It's like
no, because I would not be able to conduct an interview, because I would find that too funny and would laugh. Actually, I was interviewing Killswitch Engage at Download. It was the funniest thing ever. So we're sitting down to start the interview, and then for some reason, normally I had a clip mic, and I forgot that I actually had a handheld mic. And so the handheld mic was down, and then I just started the interview without the microphone. You kind of had to be there, but we were all crying with laughter. And then I could not, every time I went to try and ask the question, I couldn't stop laughing. And then they would laugh, and then it was just like, oh my God, I feel like such an idiot, but this is really funny. So no, that's awful when you can't stop laughing when you're trying to be serious.
There's beautiful moments like that, though. I love beautiful moments like that, where everyone's just in fits and you can't get anything out, and everyone's like hurting, and it's like, beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I know. But by the way, I'd like to point out that it wasn't, I started in commercial and more pop and movies and stuff like that, but I also did shopping television. So it wasn't that cool. I wasn't that cool from start. Like, it's like, no.
I did not spot that in my research.
What channel was it?
That's an exclusive. I was at Kid Up TV. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It was, in what made me remember that was you talking about the fits of laughter. So what I used to do is, so they would have the main presenters, and then I would come on as kind of like a model and be like, oh, hi, we've got this lovely necklace. And I remember once I looked at it was like one of those big kind of gold chains, like a gangster one, and I used to go like this to the light to make it shine, like twinkle and shine. And so I remember looking at the monitor and I'd be like, oh, as you can see, I'm wearing this lovely, whatever they're called, bolster chain or whatever they're called, and it's valued at £200, but we're going to start bidding at just £1. And I remember just seeing it on me and thinking, oh my God, this is so funny. And I started laughing. And then I couldn't stop, and the presenter started laughing as well. And we were crying with laughter live on telly. And And then every time I came back, we would both just break out in these fits of laughter. In the end, we were told we weren't allowed to work together again. But yeah, it was quite funny. But I didn't do it for too long. It was an experience. I wanted to try some live TV. So that was kind of a way to try it out. And it was awful.
Yeah, just get it under the belt sort of thing.
Yeah, it wasn't in the right area, I don't think.
I've always had a mad respect for people on these shopping channels because, like,
oh my God, yeah.
It can't be easy making something sound so good, especially when internal thoughts go, what is this crap I'm trying to sell right now?
Well, yeah, and I couldn't hide it, hence why I got in trouble. We didn't get invited back much after that. But it was like, I was just like, this is pure shit. Like, how are you selling this? But they are their own kind of like a unique bunch of people that sell on shopping channels, for sure. I think you could make a TV show about them.
Do you know, that's actually a great idea.
It's a great idea.
They're a little bit, I'm sure there was some, what was it? Like, did they just, I'm getting in trouble, but they're a little bit odd. And they're very sensitive with each other. And yeah, it was just, yeah.
You have to be a certain breed of person.
You do have to be a certain breed of person.
And you have to be cracking and bullshitting in order to sell some of that stuff.
Like, seriously, I don't have the gift of the gab. I definitely don't. And these people, Jesus, yeah. They got it.
Going back to the old red carpet, were you in the midst of everyone trying to fight? Do you have to fight through to get to the front to interview people, or do you all have your own certain sections and areas?
They give you a section, but then everyone, it kind of gets smaller and smaller. So they go like this.
Yeah.
Who was it? Ewan McGregor. Ewan. Yeah, so you're kind of like screaming at them. But sometimes they do walk down the aisle properly and stuff like that. But yeah, red carpets are quite fun. They can be quite exciting. Like, I've done red carpets for the Classic Rock Awards and stuff like that, which was one of my dream jobs. And then when I finally got to work on it, I was like, yes, the best thing ever. Because that literally was like rock royalty would come to that event. It was insane. So they were always quite exciting. And because I was doing it for classic rock and stuff, I would always end up on the carpet. So I didn't have to fight with everyone else.
That's good. That's really good.
But the movie ones were quite funny in that sense. Yeah. It would just get smaller and smaller and tighter. And then when you were interviewing someone as well, you'd be interviewing them, and then it'd be about 50 mics around you as well, because they'd be trying to get you.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So
let's nick her questions.
Yeah, it was a little bit intimidating, actually. And I guess that's one thing that it teaches you, and just not care, really. Because sometimes you would worry, like, oh, like I had to do something at Abbey Road for who was it, with Tesla. It was a DVD, and they wanted me to do a kind of live interview in front of an audience, and the audience was journalists and like everyone that I knew, and I was like, this is actually really horrible to do this in front of all my peers and stuff. Like, how just embarrassing. And they were really hard to interview. They're lovely guys, but they're not very forthcoming with their answers and stuff. So it was very, very hard. I was kind of dying. Yeah, that wasn't fun.
No, I can imagine. I hate it when you get guests like that.
Yeah.
Are you well? Yeah.
Yeah. And they're huge
Right.
Beatles fans, right? They love the Beatles. And it's like, we're at Abbey Road. Like, what? And they're just like, yeah, it's great. And you're like, what? No. The worst one I've had with that is Yoshiki, bastard. Yoshiki, right? So basically, Yoshiki is he was in a band called X Japan, a massive.
Oh yeah, I know X Japan.
A massive Japanese metal band, right? And then he's also a classical musician as well.
Oh.
And he was over doing the promo for the documentary that was out, which is a great documentary, by the way. If you haven't seen it, it was about X Japan. And they asked me to do the live Q&A with him at the premiere. And so I interviewed him before. I think it was for something else. I interviewed him and it was all fine. And then we get into the venue. I'm on the stage, and I think there's an audience, and then I introduced him Then he came out and I'm like, yeah, you're Shiki, how are you? So then I was meant to start the interview and then throw it out to the audience. And I asked him, how are you doing? And he goes, good. And I'm like, okay, great. And then I asked him another question. And he goes, yes. And I'm like, oh my God, is he for real? And then every question I asked, he just went, yes. And then I said, okay, right, you're not feeling very chatty right now. So why don't we throw it out to the audience and see if they can ask you some questions? And then I go, lady in the front with the pink hair, what would you, and then she comes up and she's actually, I'm a man, but, and I'm like, I just want to get out of here now. This is horrific.
Oh, wow.
He was like, first of all, he was apparently he did it on purpose because he likes messing around with you a bit.
No.
Yeah. So not answering my question. And I was like, oh, the places to do it, not in front of a live audience.
And not promoting your own DVD you've got coming out, yes. You weirdo.
I know. Yes, I know. It's he's a character.
Wow. Well, my next kind of question was going to be, like, with a huge list of people you've spoken to, are there any particular people that like stand out, whether it be good or bad? But I think you've just given us a great example of someone bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's all character building, isn't it? I guess. But I mean, he was great. I mean, Keith Richards was great, like as you would expect him to be. He was very Keith. Jeff Beck was surprising. Like I thought that he would be harder work than what he was, and actually he was really lovely. So who was Geddy Lee was again a lot nicer than, not that I thought he was going to be horrible, but I knew that he wasn't a fan of being interviewed, and that's fine. Not everyone is. You know, because some musicians are shy, you know, it's not just because you're on the stage you're outgoing, and I think that's the thing sometimes with them, that they don't like it. They don't like talking about themselves, because sometimes when you chat to them and you talk to them, ask them questions about them, but then all of a sudden you ask them a question about another musician, someone who they admire, they open up and they you know, they light up, and it's a completely different thing. So I think, you know, not everyone likes talking about themselves. And so Geddy Lee was just a dream, actually, and it was a very long interview and I had the best time, so that was surprising. I had another awkward moment with Matt Bellamy from Muse, and it was at Download, and so it was, they were like, right, you're the only one that can interview him. It's for Sky. You've got to do it in the compound, because they were headlining. And so we had to kind of quickly go there. And then he was standing to the side of the camera, and the manager came over and said, right, I want you to interview me. What you've got 5 questions which they had to check over. And he said, you have to ask me those questions. So I asked him the questions, and he said, right, okay, Matt, come in. And then I had to audition almost beforehand. It's funny. And that's what makes me laugh sometimes. Like, for instance, if in the past people have moaned, oh, she didn't ask this question, she didn't ask that, she doesn't know this, and how could you interview them and not ask this question? It's like, seriously. Sometimes, for instance, when I interviewed Aerosmith, I was told I wasn't allowed to ask those questions, otherwise the interview would have been pulled. So that's why you can't, it's not always that you just ask what you want. And I guess that was the case with Muse. If I'd have asked something that they didn't like, which I don't know what I would have asked. I don't think there's anything.
Is there anything really dirty on Muse?
No, I don't think there is. And I get with Aerosmith, yeah, I would. I think they would. I think at the time, I think they just got back together and stuff like that. So that's what I think people bitched at me about a bit, because they were like, how could you not ask about that? And it's like, well, because I wasn't allowed to.
See, I think that's bullshit though, myself. I think you should be, obviously, as an interviewer, you show respect, don't you? You're not going to be like, I know what's going to be fucking hilarious. You obviously, yeah. So I never understand why people are like, I need to check these over first before you can ask any of these that we haven't, you know, I don't get it. I never understood it.
It's because they're covering their job. Because if I was to ask something shitty to them, and they would get it in the neck from the manager, probably from the artist.
Okay, but surely, like I said, but if it was out of respect, though, surely you wouldn't go. You'd know what you shouldn't ask. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is not everyone does, do they?
Well, I suppose, yeah.
There are tabloid journalists, and I'm not that type of journalist. I just want to talk about the music and stuff. I don't give a shit who they're dating or
exactly.
The drugs and the rock and roll. That doesn't really bother. I'm not interested in that. So
yeah, mate, I just who's gonna sit there and be like, so how much coke did you last night? Really? So where'd you get it from?
I know. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I don't think any of them are doing that anymore now. Like backstage is so boring. It's juices and
the dream.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's no rock and roll going on whatsoever. Rock and roll is officially dead as far as that's concerned. Well, in the circles that I mix in anyway. I don't know about anything else.
So I was you said like you over prepare for your interviews, but have you ever had a situation where you've been told you need to go interview this person, but you're not familiar with them and their work at all? So how do you deal with that sort of situation? Because obviously if you're working for someone, they tell you they want you to go interview someone, you can't let it go, nah, I don't know.
I would just over prep it again. You know, you just do your research. It's research, isn't it? I listen to music, I go through all the back catalogue, the latest record, and then just go deep diving on the internet, see what I can find.
I think Jamie's trying to get some tips if they're kind of honest with you. I think that's what he's looking for.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I've been caught in the situation where it's like you say, oh, you've got to interview this person. And actually, when you do red carpets, of course, you can't prep. Then it just becomes, if you don't know who they are, you just got to ask the generic questions. That's all you can do. And listen to what they're saying to you so that you can have it's about having a natural conversation like we are now. And I think that's the thing. Once you just forget this is an interview, just try and treat it as a conversation. Just be interested in someone. That's an interview.
Absolutely.
Very true. Very, very true.
Be interested. So yeah.
I mean, I was to be fair, I was thinking, fuck, this is going to be like we're interviewing an interviewer. Not so we've never done this before. So like, I reckon you'd be sat there going, right, so I know what's coming. I know what questions are coming. I know what order they're going to ask them in. Bring it on. That's ready. I've already got my answers here, boys. I knew what you asked before you even said anything.
I did think, I know that they're going to ask me, who's the worst person I've interviewed? Who's the best person I've interviewed? I knew that one was going to come out. And I thought, sorry, the record that got me into it. Yeah. But then that's fine. That makes it, you know.
But did you know we were going to have a discussion about favourite fruit?
No, I didn't.
See,
right.
See, we've got
there's
you
the
there.
curveball, Kylie. There's the curveball.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And I didn't expect you to ask me how my last 18 months have been either. So there you go.
Oh,
there you go.
It's because we show we care. I mean, I am genuinely quite interested as to how they were. That's why I asked the question. It's not that I go, I know it'd be a great opener. But I quite like the different answers that people give, because some people go, fucking shit, I lost blah, 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 blah. And it was awful. Then people like yourself going, actually, I had time to breathe and live and, see family and do things.
Yeah.
So
exactly. I mean, I was fortunate. I didn't lose anyone. So I said, I can imagine that people that lost people they love. And I mean, there is a part of it. And I feel like I'm kind of, it's sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like a backlash of it right now is I feel like I have a lot of friends in America, and I feel like although in the beginning you're chatting to them all the time and you're connected because everyone's going through this crazy thing, it feels like now life is starting up again, and we can't get to America at the moment.
Nope.
I feel like oh my god, my friends that I have over there, we're not friends anymore. It's like that I feel a bit sad about. Like losing touch with people.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's tough, especially because a lot of people have like these traditions. We do this together, and a lot of things it ain't happening at the minute.
It's not. That's the thing. And I was going to America at least 3 times a year. And so, I'd go out. I love going to America. But then I had some friends that are out there at the moment texting me last night. It's really, really bad there, like with crime, and especially LA, it's really bad. So I'm not quite sure if it's the America that I left behind before COVID hit.
A lot has happened in America in the last 18 months, not just COVID.
Yeah. And I guess it's the same here, isn't it? England is different now. The UK is different. It's not what it was. The world is no longer what it was. But hopefully it will go back, not to be depressive.
Not at all. But I just quickly, while we're touching on it, like I find the vaccine conversations a very hard one to have now as well.
Oh God. God, it's so polarizing. Everyone is so divided on it. And you're like, it can really, again, like make you fall out with people over it as well. Whatever your opinion is that is a real kind of like, right, I don't want to be friends with you anymore now.
It's just so weird.
Yeah, it is.
I'm still the same person. Like nothing's happened. I just had 2 injections. Like, I haven't, my personality hasn't changed. I've still got all my limbs. I don't, but Bill Gates is my work.
Yeah.
I just happen to have better phone signal than everyone else now.
It's kind of like, I don't want to say too much, but it's kind of like I've got a friend that is an anti-vaxxer, and it does annoy me a little bit with her constant posts on Instagram, like sort of shoving it down your throat a little bit. And it's not very well researched. Getting back to my research thing, it's just shit that she's picked up offline. And I'm like, come on, there's all these medical doctors talking about that have done years of research, by the way. And you've just seen one person on Instagram talking about something, and now you're posting it everywhere and it's gospel. That does drive me mad.
Social media, everybody. Social media.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I saw it on Facebook, so it is true. I read it.
But unfortunately, there are some people that do believe that.
And that's fine. The thing is with people is if they want to believe in something or they want to be active, whatever, that's absolutely fine. Just don't ram it down my neck. I don't like when people do that.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. That is what I do. Want to unfollow her sometimes when I see it. I think, I just don't want to see it.
Do it. Just do it.
You know what I can do? I can just mute her. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go. See, unfollow for 30 days, whatever it is. Yeah, sorted. Hide.
Good old Tom Stevens is an interview and trying to encourages people to hurt their guests with broken chairs and unfollow their friends.
I know.
I didn't say hurt the guest.
Bad habits here.
I didn't say hurt them. There was no ever inclination of any hurt happening here. It was a mere...
I chop off a leg on a chair.
I was going to hurt someone.
Don't give me about that. Like 70-year-old man falling on his face.
There you go. You're laughing already. So you're laughing already, Kylie.
I know, just the thought of it. I was like, yeah.
Aussie, I'm so sorry.
How weird. I was thinking Aussie as well.
I don't know why. It's just the thought of him like on the floor. Like, I don't know. I'm going to stop there.
God, Aussie. Oh, Aussie was funny. Aussie's a funny one.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Not that easy to interview.
Really?
Yeah, because he's nuts.
That's probably the best. That'd be one of the best interviews to have.
You just can't try and go with it. You've got to go with it. You can't try and control it. There's no controlling it.
They're like the best and worst guests at the same time, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, Steel Panther. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. You've got to fill it in on this. Come on.
Well, they're just awful to interview in a great way, because again, you can't interview them, and it's just full of innuendo.
Yeah, I bet it is.
What they do. I'm fine with all that stuff. Someone actually said, a friend of mine sent me a message actually yesterday after I posted something. He said, "You were so a man in your previous life." Like, no. But it's like, yeah, they're just so nuts that you just like, I don't know what to say.
I can imagine.
Actually, that's probably one of my worst interviews. I'd say interviewing them is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
I wonder what they're like at home. Do you reckon they're like that at home?
I think the wigs and makeup come off, and then
I was going to say,
yeah, they're probably quite normal.
Yeah,
I haven't happened to them out of character. I don't know, and they're still a bit wacky, but no, they're a bit more normal.
So what I love about like doing my research on your work is like it's led to amazing life experiences for you, not just like with journalism stuff like. So like, one that stood out for me personally, because I'm a massive Kiss fan, they're like my favorite band in the entire world, and you got to introduce Kiss for the Monster book launch.
Oh,
I was just like, that's incredible. And then writing album sleeve notes for bands. Do you ever just have like these moments where you just realize how mental life is?
Yes, I do. Actually, that Monster Kiss book, that was awful. I was so nervous about doing that. I was shitting myself. And I actually wanted the best. You got the best. I was like, I've got to do it. If I'm introducing them, come on. But after someone in the audience told me my skirt, the light was shining through and just everyone could see my knickers and everything. It was completely see-through. Yeah.
I bet Paul was loving that though.
I don't know if they could see because they were kind of at the side of me, but the whole audience could just see it. I'm like, oh my God. So yes, life experiences. Yeah, I've had some great ones and I do pinch myself often. And I probably don't do it enough because you just constantly do the job and then move on to the next thing. So sometimes I go, oh my God. And I think that was with the lockdown, it kind of made me realize like you need to just sit back and go, actually, yeah, you've done all right. It's not been bad. You've had some good times. So I think that's what it's taught me, is to appreciate the moment a bit more.
I think your life is worthy of writing a book, Kylie.
Oh my God, no.
No?
I don't know. I can't remember anything.
That would help.
I don't think I'd be able to remember it all.
I mean, you don't do too badly now. I know it's like snippets
True.
and stuff, but...
Oh my God, I don't know what I would write. I've actually someone bought me a notebook that said and on the front it says rock stars I've met and loved. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, this could actually be my book.
Seriously, like I reckon you'd have some killer stories if you actually like sat there and thought about it, like, what did I do this year? You know, who did I interview? And then I reckon it'll all just unfold and be like,
I'm kind of a bit annoyed with myself because when my friend bought me that book, I thought to myself, I'm actually going to, and I did start it, but never finished it. But I started writing who I'd interviewed, what the date was, what we talked about, what happened, and then I just didn't keep it up. I think I did about 4 pages and then just forgot about it. But I wish I'd done that because, yeah, that would help.
Would help remember. So one other thing I saw regarding life experiences is you're in the voting committee for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
How did that come about?
After that, they just asked me. So I know some of the ones that are on the, what is it? It's the vote. You've got the voting committee, and then you've got the actual committee. So they're the ones that sit around the table with like Tom Morello and Dave Grohl and Springsteen's manager and stuff like that. And so I know a couple of people on that, and I think they can put your name forward, and I don't know if they did, but I think they can put your name forward, and then if you're accepted, then you get invited, and that's kind of what happened. And that was pretty cool. Yeah. I was pleased with that.
That's nuts. So how did that work? Like, so once a year they send you something where you basically select who you think's worthy?
Yes. Yeah.
That's mad. It's mad.
Yeah.
I love one thing I love about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is people always seem really chuffed to win it, but there's always controversy every year.
Oh, well, but do you know that everyone always says like, oh, if I was offered it, I wouldn't take it, and then they always do.
Of course they do.
They always do. It's like Bruce Dickinson always says that they wouldn't take it. Actually, I think Bruce might keep to his word, but yeah, they always do. But there is always controversy about it. And the thing is, I guess it's odd that it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it doesn't feel that rock and roll anymore. But that was one of the best events that I've ever been to when Def Leppard were inducted and Stevie Nicks and The Cure. That was incredible.
Okay, I was going to say, does that mean you get to go each year? But
I did that year. So that was 2019. This is why I should have written in that
I
book.
think it is, to be fair. No.
2019, or was it 17? No, it was 19. Yeah, that was in New York. And I was planning on going this year because this year's in Cleveland. Can you imagine going to Cleveland?
That's what the actual Hall of Fame is. Yeah.
Oh my God. And just to stand up there and be like, hello, Cleveland.
Oh.
So I would love to have done that. It's in November. And it just depends if they're going to let, UK in or not.
I think they will in November, aren't they? Aren't they rumoured to be doing that?
Really? Where did you hear that? I mean, I look on the internet every day.
I'm pretty sure Biden said he wanted to have it open by November.
Oh my God, please. I hope
I'm pretty sure it's Sky News. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I know I've read it somewhere. It wasn't Facebook or Instagram, don't worry. It was definitely a news article, news thump or some bollocks like that. It was definitely...
Well, that would be amazing if that is the case, because I would love to go out there. I mean, I would love to just go to America, even though I was saying how terrible it is out there now, but still I would just love to go. I'd love to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Is there anywhere you've wanted to go that you haven't been in the world?
Yeah, Japan.
Oh, I think that'd be incredible.
It feels like it's for me, there's most places you go in the world now, it's kind of the same. Whereas I feel like Japan still has that uniqueness, and you can't get the brands and food, etc., that you can get here. So I would love to go. Oh my God, that would be so cool.
Be like robot cafes and like I don't
go
know.
Buy some knickers in a vending machine, like all that stuff.
So weird.
Knickers that you can sniff. Great. They're really dirty knickers though. Like, I wonder, are they dirty or are they just like strawberry flavored?
They're probably in Pokeballs as well.
I choose you.
Orange, my favorite.
Oh my God.
Well, this conversation has taken some weird turns, I'm not gonna lie.
Remember it though.
Yeah, oh my God. So Japan would be great.
I reckon that'd be amazing together. But not, would you ever want, I know, I'd find that I'd want to go to places that aren't really touristy. So like, yeah. I bet Tokyo would be unreal, but then to go to like, I don't know, Osaka or I've forgotten every Japanese town.
I was going to say, I'm trying to see if you remember.
100%. I'd like to go up to like the mountains and just be very quiet and just be in the beautiful house, the little houses that they have with the sliding doors, and I'd love to do all that.
That'd be amazing, I think.
Yeah.
It's got to be done. Got to be done.
And eat lots of great sushi. I love sushi.
Japanese food, and authentic as well. Oh, get it in my face.
Is my favorite food. I love it.
Is beautiful. Sorry, Jamie, you were saying.
I'd just love to go to a gig at the Tokyo Dome as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a dream place to go. So I suppose we should mention, you mentioned at the start of this interview, we should talk about your YouTube show,
okay.
Life in Six Strings. So you mentioned at the start, it was all about interviewing guitarists and then teaching you to play, basically. Where did this idea come from? Because fair enough, it's like, okay, I want to learn guitar, but then to go, I'm going to get masters of guitar to teach me.
I know, I've actually wanted to do it for years. And I'd been pitching it out to channels for years, TV channels and stuff. And people have always been interested in it. But it was always like, well, it's going to cost a lot of money to make. Like, say, for instance, if I was to go to Jerry Cantrell's place, go to the Double J Ranch, and it's just like budgets, like it's just so hard to get stuff funded like that, and so that kind of never happened. And then obviously the pandemic happened, and I finally had the chance to learn how to play. And then I thought, actually, everyone's doing interviews now on Zoom, etc., so it doesn't have to be professionally shot. And actually, someone in America first, it was a producer in America that I was talking to him just before the lockdowns happened and stuff. I was in America in March, so I got back just in time. Nice. And I was pitching it to him, and he was going to take it out to a few channels in the US. And then he said to me, why don't we do it on Twitch? So I teamed up with him and this other director, and we launched it on Twitch, but I didn't enjoy it on Twitch. I don't feel like the format is right for Twitch. Twitch is very gamey and just like, come on, like this. Whereas this, I feel like it's like this. It's a conversation. I mean, it did really well, first of all, actually, on Twitch. We were getting like 200,000 views.
Nice.
Going out live. It was insane. And it was going out live and stuff like that. But then I think after about 6-7 shows, I was just like, do you know what? Why am I doing this on Twitch? It's not my own thing. It's my idea, but actually they own the rights to the Twitch channels. What am I doing? And so in the end, I just said, can you give me all the interviews that we've done? I'm going to stick it on my own YouTube channel. And so that's what I did. And then I've just sort of been doing it myself ever since. So
like, because you've had the idea for a while, did you never slip any questions in your interviews that you were doing about like guitars and that sort of thing for it, like in previous interviews?
No, because it had to be very much I had to be with them taking, the idea was them taking me to where it all started, and then we would, just going to like their first guitar shop. It's kind of it was kind of like a comedians in cars getting coffee, but a music version and based around the guitar, with the challenge being that by the end of it I do a gig or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yes. So, but it hasn't gone away. Now that I've had the YouTube channel, I've had a few people getting in touch with me, like broadcasters and production companies, saying that, oh, what can we do? So, that would be great to turn that into a proper TV show where I travel and get to interview people in the flesh.
That'd be amazing.
It's a great concept. It really is. I love the idea of the show. For those on the way, what sort of people have you had on?
So I've had Joe Bonamassa, Nuno Bettencourt, Friedman. I've had Steve Lukather, Orianthe, Nita Strauss. I like some of my heroes. And I've always loved guitar. Like whenever I've listened to music, I've always been drawn to the sound of the guitar, and I sort of collect guitarists as friends. I always have. So it's odd. It was always like my calling, I think. So I became a complete gearhead as well, like becoming obsessed with guitars, reading books about guitars. Like I've got lots of vintage guitar books, and I just completely went 100% in. I even relicked my own guitar. I took my first ever Strat and was so bored one night, because obviously there was nothing to do, I decided to just relic it with some tools and started scratching all the paint off. And I was like, oh my God, I'm turning into like a 12-year-old boy. What is going on? And I ruined it. I can show you. It's so
oh, no way.
It was a brand new Strat. And then under the wood underneath, when I scratched it all off, it was really, really white. So then I got boot polish and just kind of covered it in boot polish and just went to town with it. Like, it's like one of those things, once you start, you can't stop. And then you're like, oh my God, that bit looks really rubbish. Now I need to do this. And then you just keep going and going. It was something to do on Friday night.
It looks cool though.
Yeah. The thing is, because I feel like a Strat shouldn't be new looking. There's something disconcerting about a new looking Strat. And I'm not good on the guitar, so it's never going to get old by me going out playing loads of gigs. It's never going to look like something that Rory Gallagher would have played or something. So it's like I've just got to fake it.
So, do I go out there and do I make it look worn authentically? Nah. Boot polish and a bit of sandpaper.
Yeah. God, this has seen some places, I tell you. There's some stories about this.
I know. Yeah, I'm faking a phony. What can I say?
Yeah, but surely your plan is to play gigs at the end, so maybe you should take that with you. Maybe that should be your guitar that you use.
Yes, maybe. It might be a bit embarrassing though.
Nah, bollocks, will it? How would it be embarrassing? But again, like you say, I've played loads of places. You wouldn't believe the rooms.
I just need to smash it up a little bit. That's what I need to do. It's like I took my acoustic guitar with me to Italy and France because I drove, and I had it. I had it in a case, and then after I was like, where the hell did I put this in a case? The case takes up loads of space. I should have just left it out. I need to bash it up a little bit. I just hate new guitars. They need to be old and scratched and
left on the top of the vehicle. It's just like, hey, ma'am, you've left your. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
just drive off and smash it.
Because I just married, with the pin and the the car. I just stick my guitar there instead.
Get to the destination, all you have is the head left. The rest is gone.
Yeah.
Where's my guitar?
So what have you got coming up then? What's in the pipeline? I saw something on your Instagram about a new series for Channel 5.
Yes. So I've been making a new series. Well, it's not a new series as such. It's series 2 of a show called The Story of the Songs. And they did series 1, which was kind of across the board. And then one of the episodes that they had was Metallica, and it did so well that on series 2 they decided to just make it on rock bands, and in particular hair metal bands. And so they approached me about doing it, and so they're like, there's 10 of them. Some of them are 1-hour shows and some of them are 2-hour shows, but they're essentially documentaries. And so I'm doing one on Kiss, which you will like, Van Halen, Bon Jovi, Whitesnake, Alice Cooper, although I don't think he's really hair metal, but anyway, Motley Crue. I guess you could say he might have started it. Who else? I'm sure I'm forgetting someone, but it's an incredible lineup of artists that we're working on, but it has been non-stop of interviewing. So what we do is we have a professional crew wherever they are. Most of the bands are in America, and all the people like producers and stuff like that. Oh, Guns N' Roses are another one. So then we do I just do the interviews and stuff like this, and then there's a professional camera guy filming at their end. So it's been great. And that goes out on Channel 5 in the UK and Reels in the US. And it's out next year.
Amazing.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. So that's been good.
That's all.
So I've read that you work on Sky News with Eamon Holmes.
I did, yes. They used to get me on to talk music events and stuff. So like the Brits.
Okay, so it's quite early in the morning, wasn't it?
Yes.
Why so early? I don't understand. No one's going to be awake, are they? Unless there's people going to work, I suppose. But
it's just news, isn't it? It's just like, let's get someone on to talk about the relevance of the Brits or whatever it was we were talking about at the time.
That's awesome, though. They work with
that was quite fun. And then when they got me on BBC News a few times to talk about like number one, like who was going to be number one at Christmas and stuff like that. Again, a little bit like, why are you getting me on to talk about this? But I'm not going to complain.
So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's X Factor again every fucking year.
I know, that's a problem, and that was the thing with the Brits. It's like the Brits, they're just rubbish. It was like, oh my god, I need to be a bit more eloquent with the way that I'm talking about them and try and build them up a little bit. But they got me about the second day actually after, so I can't have done too bad a job. But yeah, I've done a few of those. So
yeah, I feel the Brits aren't what they once were. I don't know. I know music's changed so much in the past like 10, 20 years. I thought Britpop and everything was huge in the 90s. And now it's just all auto-tune shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think as far as the Brits is concerned, I mean, the Brits was quite rock and roll in its attitude. Like there would be, Jarvis Cocker jumping on stage with Michael Jackson and doing the thing. The reason why you watched it and you loved it, because you never knew what was going to happen. It's like, oh, something crazy is going to happen. But it's so slick now and it's so controlled and
regimented.
Takes the fun out of it.
Absolutely agree with you.
Absolutely. Now, I know this is probably a question that is on your list of he's going to ask me, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Is there anyone you haven't interviewed that is on that dream list?
No one's ever asked me that before.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
I was. Do you know? I actually was thinking about this the other day, and I was kind of. It was because obviously I'm doing this Van Halen. Let's call it a doc. And I was thinking, I'm really gutted that I never chased him down to interview him. Like, I should have hounded him. I should have tried to make it happen. So I would have loved to have interviewed Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Who else is on my list? I would like to interview Bob Dylan, but I don't think I would, because I don't think he'd be very nice to interview.
No, do you think he'd be very forthcoming?
I don't think so at all. Yeah.
No.
It'd be awful. But I think Eddie Vedder, I absolutely love Pearl Jam, and I love him, not just because he's the fittest man alive, but because he's the most incredible musician ever. Like, his voice is amazing, and his songwriting and everything.
It's like liquid chocolate, isn't it?
Oh, Jesus. And so, but again, I'm not sure how forthcoming he would be.
Do you think?
Nah, I don't think he would. I don't think they like being interviewed.
Okay. I last saw them in 2010. They were just phenomenal.
Oh my God. Like, insane.
Sorry, I was completely interrupting you. I do apologize.
No, you weren't. I mean, Pearl Jam, the best. Yeah. So I guess if I had to choose, not overthink it, it would be Eddie Vedder for sure. Eddie Van Halen if he was still alive. Just trying to think who else. I mean, I've done quite a lot of them already. I haven't done Mick Jagger.
What do you reckon he'd be like?
Bonkers, probably.
I think he'd be all right, actually, because he's quite intelligent. So I think you could probably have quite an interesting conversation with him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You never know. One day it could happen.
Could do.
Just have to put these things in the universe.
I had to take his T-shirt once to the stage for him. But my friend is his assistant, and
okay.
He invited to meet me to one of the gigs, and they put me up in a hotel and stuff, and I had a driver, and when I got in the car they were like, oh, can you go and pick there's something in reception, can you bring it to the venue? So I had to go and get a T-shirt. Basically it was a bag, and I looked in the bag, and it was Mick Jagger's T-shirt. It was a white Calvin Klein T-shirt.
Oh, I was gonna say, I had an image of him being at the stage being like, knew I forgot something, fuck's sake. Just like topless, being like, where is she?
Yeah.
Needed a white Calvin Klein T-shirt, or Mick wouldn't go on stage that night.
Exactly. And it was a size medium, if you're wondering.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There we go. Tom, before we wrap up with some fan questions, have you got anything else you wanted to ask?
You said you went to audition for Planet Rock when you were back in the day, and that guy was a misogynistic arsehole.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I read that you have been oh my God, the words got in my head. I
actually got the gig in the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, my brain just went, you've forgotten every English word in the English language completely. Good luck.
I did, yes, but it took me probably about 10 years. So after I'd smoked loads of fags and drank loads of beer, and my balls dropped, I got the job. I basically ended up on there, and it was great.
No, we had some questions sent in by fans. If you didn't mind answering some of those for us.
Fans of what?
Well, I'm part of the Download Festival group, so I'll put it in there. We were talking to, and everyone's
my God.
So we've got some questions from there. So Chris Pearson simply said, "How did it feel to have Phil Alsamo ask you out for a fight?"
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I needed context on this one.
I was interviewing him, and I can't remember why, but at the end of the interview, we were like, "Come on, then, let's have a fight." For some reason, there must have been some sort of. Was he? I think he's a fighter, isn't he, or something? As in, he does it as a sport.
I think I've heard that somewhere. Yeah.
So that was quite funny. He was just he's a fun guy to chat to. So again, it just made the interview a little bit more interesting.
I suppose.
And scary.
I was going to say, and scary, yeah.
No, he wasn't scary. He didn't mean it. But no, that was fun. It was fun.
So Kev Miller says, met her a few years ago with my son. She actually asked me how I got my, oh my God, should I try that one again?
You're
Met a few years ago, my son, she actually asked me how he got into metal because her daughter wasn't interested. There we go, got it eventually.
Oh, okay. I think I remember that. Okay, cool.
Any luck with the daughter? Have you managed to get her into metal now?
No. I'm working on it still.
My sister's 14, she's kind of 15. I got her in at 13 years old.
Oh, okay. So I got a bit of time then.
Yeah, I think she listened to My Chemical Romance at one point. And I was like, oh, interesting.
Moving in the right direction.
Yeah, so they go like, here's Fallout Boy. She's like, oh, I like it. I was like, okay, let's step up a bit. Here's some 41. Oh.
And actually, the reason why they're like this is because of this. So
yeah.
Influences, yeah.
So here's Blink, here's Disturbed, here's Korn, here's Slipknot.
I haven't managed to get her into it. But I keep thinking like maybe I should take her to a gig. Maybe that's what you need to do.
I might do it. The whole atmosphere. Dave Pratt says, of everyone you've interviewed, who has flirted with you the most?
No comment.
I think I remember seeing a video of you talking to Paul Stanley and him trying to get you to run your fingers through his chest hair at one point.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. I went under his cape.
That was it.
I ended up under the cape, yeah.
Yes, that was it.
But let me tell you, he must have got shocked when I went under that cape because I was like 8 months pregnant or something at the time and I was hiding it. And so literally when I went under, I actually went under and cuddled him. And I think I might have touched his bum as well, which is
it's Paul Stanley.
It's kind of like the thing you do if you're going under someone's cape and then you just like kind of, I was such a pervert, aren't I?
Paul Stanley.
But my belly was there and I think he must have thought, what the hell is that? Yeah, so I went under the cape with Paul Stanley. There we go.
That's the name of your autobiography.
And I copped a Phil.
Amazing. Kylie, before we let you go, we'd like to play a quick little game with our guests, if that is okay with you.
Yes.
It's called the quick fire round. We ask 5 questions and you answer them as quick as you can. Simple as that.
God. Okay.
Nothing scary, don't worry. We set the bar quite low. Here's the first question. What's your favourite pizza topping?
Oh, margarita.
Oh, okay.
Is that actually a topping? Can you? Well, that's not it.
Cheese, technically, in it. So
cheese, yeah.
Some people have pizza without cheese, so I guess it'll count. The first ever concert you went to?
Jason Donovan.
Really?
I love how ashamed you look at that answer.
You said just Hans, quickly. I didn't have a chance to think about something cool. That's the truth. And you'll laugh even more. I got squashed in the front and they had to pull me out.
No way.
Jason Donovan?
Jason Donovan. It was at like some nightclub thing as well.
We love that. Yes, mosh pit at Jason Donovan.
Yeah. That's so rubbish, isn't it?
That is phenomenal. That's great. That's a great answer.
Yeah, it's not cool, is it?
No, fuck really off. That's absolutely incredible.
Oh, that's really amused me. Your go-to karaoke song?
Well, Sweet Child of Mine.
Amazing. What a tune as well.
And do you do the Axel dance?
Oh, hell yeah. I love a bit of snake dance.
Get in. Who would play you in the movie of your life?
Who do people say I look like? Alice Cooper said, and the problem is I can't remember her name.
Alice Cooper
No, Alice Cooper said when I went walking to interview him for the first time ever, he said to me, "Oh, you look like Tia Leone or someone. Is that his name?" Yeah, she was married. She was married to David Duchovny.
Oh, okay. The name does sound familiar, but I can't picture.
She's an actress, so I guess if he said it, he plays golf with her. So maybe her.
If Alice Cooper said it,
we'll take it. Is it meant to be someone that I want to play me? I'm overthinking.
Anybody, anyone.
Okay.
You can have whoever you want. You don't have to look like him. You can be whoever you want.
That's true. These days they can do wonders, can't they, with hair and makeup?
Emma Stone?
I mean, she's cool as fuck, isn't she?
She is cool as fuck.
There you go.
And how great was she as Cruella? I mean, that is like Disney's rock and roll, like the best rock and roll. Like, great. Yeah. Great idea. I'll go with that. Emma Stone.
We'll like that. We like that. Last question. What is one piece of advice you would give to younger Kylie Olsson if you had a little time machine?
Enjoy the moment.
Nice.
I like that.
Like that a lot. Kylie, this has been an unbelievable, and absolute and wonderful pleasure of epic proportions.
That's a great summary. I like that.
Thank you so
much.
I
know, it's wonderful. Thank you. I totally agree.
Much.
Thank you for having me on. It's been fun.
Oh, I'm pleased. I'm pleased to hear it. But
cool. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your.
Just quickly before you disappear, anywhere that anybody can find you on the old social media at all? Anyone you want to go follow? Anyone to go check out?
Yes, go and check out my YouTube channel, which is just Kylie Olsson, and my Instagram page as well, which is again just Kylie Olsson. Perfect, wonderful. We will let you get out of here before Zoom has an absolute mental breakdown. I know. It's like fucking. Okay, thank you. Take care, Kylie. See you soon. Thank you very much, Kylie. It's been amazing. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Hi, I'm Frank Guglielmelli, and I'm the narrator for some wonderful audio dramas from Syscast, like Marty and Mars, Bounty Hunters, and a great part in Val Toby, with much more to come. You can find these programs on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, or head over to our website, www.syscast.com. We are excited to announce that we are now affiliated with the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie.